Are you surprised by the interest?
Yeah, it's very exciting. It's very new for me as well. I'm happy with the turnout. The kids have been doing very well as well. I see a lot of talent, and everyone's very excited to come in and show me what they got. And I think for me to come back here in Canada, my hometown, to have fun with these kids and enjoy and try to give them a bit of experience that I have in Europe, and that's what they all look up to playing soccer in Europe, and that is the main idea for every youngster in Toronto now or in Canada itself to go to Europe as soon as possible. Something like I did when I was 12 years old. But I think if we bring back the quality training that I went through in Europe and bring it down here, I think Canadian football will blossom from there.
And you're getting stuck in too as a coach as well. Are you enjoying that hands-on approach?
It's very good. I think these kids are, you can see it a lot more outside, like when you're watching them, and it's like small details. And I think if you're teaching these kids a bit of these small details, they'll take that back to their team that they're playing with, or in the future. So I'm happy to bring a bit of my experience that I learned from Europe and give these kids a bit of taste of it.
Now, when you're a kid, you went to Europe for obvious reasons. That was the opportunity presented. It's changed a lot since then, right? MLS and with the Canadian-based teams as well. Would you still say Europe's the best option for a kid, or is it a personal decision?
Well, right now, I think at that time when I was 12, 13 years old, I was forced to move to Europe because we didn't have a professional soccer team here like Toronto FC. We didn't have the vision of making it professionally, and I think for my brother and I, we had to go at a very young age to get that good development, to get that good teaching. So yes, we're kind of forced, but I think now as well, we're still growing in soccer as well. And I think if we put in the more investing in the kids and in the coaching here, I think Canada can become a threat in CONCACAF and obviously in the World Cup. And if I think me starting camps like this, I'm very happy to do it because this is where I come from. I still feel Canadian at heart, and I believe Canada has talent. We have a big country, and with so much talent running around and not getting the right coaching, So I believe if I could give them a little taste of little something in with these camps that I'm bringing back to the kids, then I think they can learn a lot from it.
Now, I moved here when I was 16, and I feel Canadian now. I also feel English. You moved there when you were a kid as well. You said that you're Canadian at heart. But do you also feel Dutch in many ways? Of
course. I think you feel like you said. You came here when you're 16. You feel Canadian. I moved to Holland when I was 12. I do feel Dutch. I speak the language fluently. I have family there as well. And me playing in the World Cup for the Dutch national team, it was a great honor as well. But again, I do still also have family back in Canada, and I believe you still have family back in England, right? So I enjoy coming home, and this is home for me as well. And I think Canada is lacking in the soccer industry, and I think we could bring a lot more to the soccer if you get players like my brother, me, you have Dwayne De Rosario, who have established themselves in football in itself. So I think, like I said, with the camps that I'm doing now, who knows, maybe we could make something bigger than this.
So you do feel a responsibility to bring what you've learned back home, back to Canada now, and especially once you finish playing in a few years' time?
Yeah, I think it's more attractive that I'm doing it now, that I'm active, I'm playing for Napoli now, than doing it after my career. I think it's for the kids, they look up to me more right now that I'm active. They can follow me week in, week out when I'm playing. So they're happy to be a part of it. So it's something special for them to be part of this camp as well, and for me as well to learn a lot about coaching and feeling what they need more as a young 11-year-old, for example.
But the hardcore Canadian soccer fan are going to listen to that and say, yeah, it's great, coming back and teaching the kids what you've learned. But they'll also say, yeah, but you didn't play for Canada, you played for the Netherlands as well. Do you understand that contradiction almost?
Of course. But then again, it comes back to when I was 12, 13, how forced I was to do that. My dad had to help me move to Europe or to Holland to get the teaching. He wouldn't have the time to do it, and he didn't see that in Canada itself. So, and I agree. I was young at the time. I was just happy that I was playing soccer almost every day. So now that I'm experienced that, playing in Holland, Spain, Italy, and England, I think I could bring that back to the children here and bring them a bit of that experience, and then teach them what I've learned, teach them the basics of football, and also have a lot of fun at the same time. And of course, I could understand people saying, "Oh, he chose Holland," but I think the people that do know football, they understand my choice.
Speaking of Holland, through injury, you weren't in the Euro qualifying squad this year. Something went wrong with that team. You were in the World Cup squad, 3rd place. It was a wonderful experience for Dutch fans, for yourself. What happened this year, talking to some of your teammates?
Yeah, it was a very difficult year. And again, I think we lost a very great coach, Louis van Gaal at the time. He put together a great team for the World Cup finals, and we made it very far. And then, coming to the next step, we were playing the European Championships and trying to qualify. And then obviously changing coaches with Hiddink, it was a bit different, and to adapt to the different style of play. And I think that was what went wrong.
How hard was it for you watching from afar? Because you couldn't, be a part of that, and you must have been watching these results and thinking, "Man, I'd love to get stuck in there and play in these games and help this team out."
Yeah, I think it goes for every Dutch player that wants to help the team out. It's hurt our eyes watching it at home, watching us lose against teams that we normally beat, and it was difficult. But then again, I guess that's football. You can't be on top all the time, and you have your times when things are just not going for the team, and I think you have to be strong about it and then build it from there.
Obviously, there's some big names and big voices in that room. The RVPs, Robben's, Huntelaars. Is it time? Do you think that the kids kind of took over, looking forward, or do you understand why they want to hang on a bit longer?
Well, I think with their experience, it's great. I think with the World Cup finals as well, we had a great experience. We had a great balance of the team, experienced players and young players. And now that we didn't qualify for the European Championship, I think it's time that we do. The youngsters are the future. So of course, I think we're gradually pushing a bit more of the youngsters up to the Dutch national team a bit earlier, so that they can get that experience and be important for the Dutch national team and be ready for that next big tournament.
Have you spoken to Danny Blind about your role, perhaps going forward?
Oh yeah, of course. We keep in contact. They keep in contact with the players that are affiliated with the national team, and obviously I'm a player with more experience than the younger players. So I'll be playing more of that role in the midfield with the younger players.
You're coming off a great season last year with Napoli, with Rafa Benitez, semi-finals, Europa League, contending in the Serie A. This year you get injured, you get a new coach, you get a new director of football. Where are you at right now?
I'm just focusing on my injury. I think as a team we're doing very well. I think if you look at the top 5 teams, it's very close in the Serie A. Even the Europa League, we've been doing well, winning every game. But like I said, I've been just focusing on my injury, focusing on myself. And once I'm fit, I'll be able to get back to the team. You
played in the Premier League, you played in obviously the Serie A, La Liga, Eredivisie. Is there a league you prefer playing in as a footballer?
It's a bit of both. It's a bit of everything.
Yeah.
I love the Premier League, playing with Swansea, the great fans, and even now playing with Napoli with the passionate fans as well. Good football. It's different, and I'm just happy. I'm honored to be able to play in these different leagues, and it's exciting for me. There's not really a preference, but
sure. It's a good answer, political.
I gotta come politically correct, but no, I really enjoy playing in all leagues. To be honest with you, I really enjoyed it. The fans are great. They treat the players very well, especially. So I really liked it.
Tell us about the fan base in Naples, the Ultras. I mean, they are some hardcore supporters.
That's right. It's unbelievable. I think there was this video I was watching a couple of days ago with the Ultras, the Curva A. He had more say to the fans than the mayor of Napoli himself. So it's great. Even the spokesman, when you score a goal, he says your name and the fans repeat it. It's unbelievable. It's goosebumps.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, they are pretty intimidating.
They could be, and then it's Napoli. Yeah, we are very hard to beat at home. So
yeah, speaks for itself, right? Well, thanks, John. Good luck.
Thank you.
Cheers. Appreciate that.